So how did you first come across SFR, Natalie?
Well, I had made the decision to leave my large corporate employer and set out on my own, and came across the Recruitment Expo at the Birmingham NEC, and that's when I went and viewed a whole number of speakers and got a chance to listen to yourself, Sharon, on stage. And that was 2 years ago. And ended up downloading one of your white papers, which then found myself in receiving emails, and I was thinking, actually, and found I was getting to know you through the communication I was receiving, which led me to join up, actually a year later.
Wow. And so, I suppose at that time then, what were some of the challenges that you were facing from a marketing point of view as you were growing a business that made you then make that decision to join Superfast Circle?
I was actually on gardening leave from my corporate job at the time, so working for a global recruiter, and I was conscious that compared to, say, 15 years ago, recruitment had moved away from being a sales job essentially to really these days in the digital world a marketing job. And one of the things I was most fearful of is walking away from all the infrastructure and support functions that a large employer offers you, to actually wearing those hats myself and having zero marketing experience. I knew that was fundamentally one of the areas of expertise I was either going to have to get educated on or indeed outsource very early on.
And so what's influenced you to continue to evolve that relationship then with the team at Superfast?
I think it comes to like a mutual respect and return on investment. Being a long-term recruiter, I recognise relationships are critical to get any sort of results in whatever you do. And that's what I liked about Superfast, is that that yourselves and the wider team were all about customer service. Nothing was ever too big a problem, and felt like an individual, even though I'm a solo operator. I was still given the same level of service as as a larger company.
And you mentioned ROI. What for you have been some of the real benefits then of being part of the circle and working with the team? Because it has been sort of coming up for a year.
That's right. So I guess everyone joins at different stage in their education. So I felt that this first year has been more about the education rather than necessarily all the output. Now, whenever I'm in a room or in a presentation and they're talking about marketing, I actually understand everything they're talking about, which is certainly not what I was a year ago. Having now completed attended my second event, I'm very excited to have come away with a real action plan where now it is about putting all that I've learnt into practice. So I was primarily, where I started a year ago, was focusing on LinkedIn and LinkedIn video, but now I'm looking to get more of the collateral flushed out and work closely with my avatars.
And so in that first year then, what would you say have been, or how has the circle helped you realise the goals that you have this year, based on what you have implemented so far?
The work we did very early on defining where my market is. And so whilst in setting up my business, I'd had experience of working with owner managers through to global corporates. and then you can't be all things to all people. And actually, you can be far more effective the narrower the niche. So that over the last year, I've been working hard to define, and certainly in the last, say, 8-9 months, that's where my results are coming from.
Fantastic. And what would you say it's like working with Sharon Zies?
Well, it's just like rocking up with your friends, really. It's, so friendly, approachable, no questions too silly or too small, and just very generous, not only with their time, but also I've found it really useful to be put in touch with other experts that I can surround myself with. So rather than feeling like I need to be an expert in every area, pay-per-click, IT, etc. Just being put in touch with other people that can get me to my end goal that much quicker.
And you mentioned that you've just attended your second event. It's a big thing for a business owner to invest several days out of their business. So what do you gain from taking that time out to work on your business?
Well, for me, I've always recognised that time spent working on your business is just as important as working in the business. And by actually physically removing myself from the geographical area in which I work and family life and everything else besides, it allows me to really focus for those 2 days solid on an area which is critical to my future business growth.
Yeah. And what would be for you an example where you feel that working with the team at Superfast, that they've gone above and beyond to serve you as an individual and in your business?
I guess 2 areas really. Initially, I recognised that as a solo operator wanting to build a lifestyle business, I'm not their typical client. But I think in that initial interview meeting, I think you recognise that when I say lifestyle, I still have all the drive and ambition you would associate with an operator that wants to display best practice and high quality. So I felt that was really generous of them to recognise that in me, even though I may not fit their typical audience. I guess more recently, as I've been trying to add more of the different elements to my marketing plan, I've been working with a case study writer in my locality, which for practical reasons is quite useful. However, experience has taught me now that because the individual doesn't have a specialism in recruitment, that I'm maybe not squeezing out as much value out of a particular client's case study as I could. And I think this is a perfect example where they are recognising that I've got a problem here that's getting a bit sticky, and helping me to put that right so that maybe we can then work together on future case studies.